Have you ever acted and immediately regretted it? Spoken words you wish you could take back? Made choices that seemed right in the moment, but later pulled you backward instead of forward? If your answer is yes, then you're not alone. In fact, research shows that over 70% of our daily decisions are made automatically without conscious thought. Most of the things we do, the things we react to, the things we say, happen not because we chose them, but because our brain was running on autopilot. And the consequences of living life on autopilot are huge. Stress, regret, conflict, missed opportunities, wasted energy, all of it. Here's the controversial truth nobody wants to tell you. Most people are not failing because they lack intelligence, talent, or opportunity. They are failing because they have no idea how to pause. They don't know how to stop, think, and act deliberately. They live as reactive participants in their own lives, allowing emotions, external pressures, and impulses to dictate their outcomes. And that's exactly what makes this video so crucial for you, because today, we're going to talk about the one principle that separates ordinary people from the extraordinary, the people who are calm in chaos, who influence instead of being influenced, who succeed while everyone else scrambles. That principle is deceptively simple, yet radical in its impact. Stop, think, act. Before we go any deeper, here's the thing. If you're ready to take control of your life, if you're ready to stop being reactive and start becoming strategic, then subscribe now and comment, "I choose my power." Why? Because this isn't just another motivational video with empty advice. This is science-backed, philosophy-backed, psychology-backed strategy to literally rewire your mind for clarity, control, and unstoppable momentum. And stay with me till the end. I promise, by the time we're done, the last part will shift how you see every single decision in your life. The first step is stop. This isn't just about hitting pause or taking a second to breathe. This is about creating a deliberate gap between stimulus and response, a moment where you reclaim your power. Science tells us your brain operates through two systems. System 1, fast, reactive, emotional, and impulsive. And System 2, slow, deliberate, analytical, and strategic. System 1 is what snaps, what yells, what overreacts to a text, a comment, a deadline. System 2 is the part that calculates, evaluates, and decides in alignment with your goals. Most people live in System 1 all day. That's why chaos, regret, and stress dominate their lives. Philosophers have known this for centuries. Epictetus, the ancient Stoic, said it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In other words, freedom isn't about controlling the world, it's about controlling yourself. Modern neuroscience backs this up. Studies on emotional regulation have shown that people who deliberately pause before responding experience 40% less stress and 30% more satisfaction in relationships, work, and life in general. But here's the controversial truth. Society trains you not to stop. Schools reward speed over reflection. Social media rewards instant reactions. Friends and peers expect immediate replies. Pause, and suddenly you're labeled slow, distant, or overthinking. But that pause, that conscious stop, is not weakness. It's power. Once you've stopped, the next step is think. Thinking isn't overthinking. Overthinking is fear masquerading as strategy. Real thinking is clarity. It's metacognition, thinking about your thinking. It's questioning, is this reaction mine or someone else's expectation? Am I solving the problem or feeding my ego? What's the long-term outcome of this choice? Thinking strategically is what separates leaders from followers, creators from imitators, innovators from reactionaries. Scientific studies confirm this. People who pause to think before acting are 50% more successful in problem-solving, decision-making, and long-term outcomes than those who act impulsively. That's not luck. That's biology, psychology, and strategy working together. When you think before acting, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for planning, self-control, and foresight. And here's a truth most people ignore. This part of your brain can be strengthened through practice. Every time you pause and think, you're literally rewiring your mind for mastery over your life. Philosophers like Nietzsche said, "Become who you are," but most people don't live by their own rules. They react to the world around them, trapped by conditioning, fear, and habit. Thinking deliberately is the first step in reclaiming authorship of your own life. You are no longer a character in someone else's story. You are the writer. The third step is act. But not just act deliberately, strategically, aligned with your highest self. Most people fail here. They either act impulsively and regret it, or they don't act at all, paralyzed by fear or indecision. But when you stop and think first, your actions carry weight, respect, and influence. Scientific research supports this. People who pause, reflect, and then act are 30% more likely to achieve long-term goals and are consistently rated as trustworthy, competent, and persuasive. Acting deliberately doesn't just improve your life, it changes how others perceive and respond to you. That's power. That's influence. That's freedom. Now, let's make this controversial. Most people will reject this idea at first. They'll say, "I don't have time to pause, I have to act fast to survive, thinking too long is weakness." But here's the truth. The world rewards reaction because it creates chaos it can control. Instant reactions are predictable, manipulable, and exploitable. The rare few who stop, think, and act are unpredictable, strategic, unstoppable. They are the ones who move through life with clarity, influence, and confidence while everyone else scrambles. Think about fire. Reacting impulsively is like throwing gasoline blindly. You make a mess, destroy yourself, and create chaos. Thinking first is assessing the fire, understanding how it works. Acting deliberately is using the fire to forge, to illuminate, to build. The same principle applies to your decisions, your relationships, your career, and your life. And this isn't just theory, it's reality. Emotional intelligence research shows that people who practice deliberate pause and reflection report 50% higher relationship satisfaction, 40% less conflict, and significantly higher career success. Neuroscience proves that habitual pausing strengthens the prefrontal cortex, improving self-control, planning, and decision-making. Philosophy shows that deliberate reflection has been the path to mastery for thinkers, leaders, and innovators for centuries. If what you're hearing challenges how you've been living your life, stay with me till the end, because I'm going to reveal how to implement Stop, Think, Act as a daily habit, a habit that can restructure your brain, transform your relationships, and shape your future. Subscribe now and comment, "I'm in control," if you're ready to take this seriously, because this isn't just knowledge, it's power in action. The implications of Stop, Think, Act are massive. For young people especially, the world is engineered to make you reactive. Social media algorithms, peer pressure, instant gratification, they all hijack your impulses. They create emotional addictions, behavior loops, and stress cycles. But here's the radical truth. The future belongs to those who act with intention, not impulse. Every great leader, innovator, and revolutionary understood this intuitively. Steve Jobs didn't react impulsively to criticism. He paused, reflected, and acted strategically to shape Apple's vision. Elon Musk didn't make decisions on emotion alone. He measured risks, paused, calculated, and acted deliberately. Every historical figure who achieved mastery over their life leveraged this principle, even if they didn't call it Stop, Think, Act. And here's why it's controversial. The world doesn't want you to pause. The media profits off your emotional reactions. Social pressure profits off your impulsive decisions. People around you profit off your chaos. Stop, think, act challenges the system. It makes you unpredictable, independent, and powerful. That's why it's rare. That's why it works. So how do you implement it in real life? Begin small. The next time someone triggers anger or jealousy, stop. Don't reply immediately. Pause, even for a few seconds. Observe your emotion without judgment. Then think. Ask, is this reaction mine or someone else's expectation? Am I solving the problem or feeding my ego? What's the long-term outcome of this choice? Finally, act deliberately. Speak only if it serves, move only if it's strategic, choose only what aligns with your highest self. Do this once, twice, daily, and soon it becomes instinctive. Even the smallest actions accumulate. Stop reacting to texts impulsively. Stop reacting to social media outrage. Stop reacting to peer pressure. Think before every decision, every response, every action. Act with clarity, purpose, and alignment. Over time, your life will shift from chaos to clarity, from manipulation to influence, from reaction to freedom. Stop, think, act is not just a strategy. It's a life philosophy. It transforms chaos into clarity, fear into freedom, impulsivity into influence. Those who master it are calm in crisis, persuasive in conflict, strategic in action, and respected by peers. The world may try to condition you to react, but you now know the secret. The gap between stimulus and response is your superpower. And now, here's the challenge for you. Look at your day, your week, your decisions. Where are you reactive? Where are you impulsive? And what would happen if you applied stop, think, act? Comment below. Let me know one decision you will change today. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, subscribe to stay on the path to mastery, and hit like if you're ready to stop letting chaos control your life. Let me leave you with one final truth, one that philosophers, scientists, and psychologists all agree on. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that defines you. Pause before you respond. Think before you move. Act only when you are deliberate. Do this consistently, and you will become unstoppable. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Until then, take care.